Alright everybody, welcome to the first qualifications for the ECAL's $3,000 North American and South American tournament. My name is Draskyl. Joining me today is another fellow NEODota player. His name is Spit-wad, also one of the admins for NEODota.com. How you doing, man? Actually, don't think I told him to unmute his mic yet, but he is here, I assure you. And we're just waiting for everyone to go ahead and load into the game, and we will get into picks. There are over 100 teams apparently that registered for this tournament, so we're going to have quite a few rounds. I think it's going to be 4 just today alone. We're going to have these semifinals and the finals played after that. Once again, for a $3,000 prize pool in the ECAL tournament. This is going to be the first of its type. And I'm so glad I caught that before it actually caught up. Always leave my dashboard open, forget to mute the stream on the preview video itself, so glad I got that out of the way. But once again, I want to thank you guys for joining us. Apparently Akuma is having a little bit of a hard time loading into the game, and I can't get rid of that. Commend player. Cancel. Okay. Now we are good. Bans and picks are underway. Sorry if the overlay is a little bit off. We kind of threw everything together a little bit of last minute. But we're going to go ahead and get the pick started now. And it looks like first pick's going to Dire. That's a bit strange. Typically, most tournament format allows for the Radiant team to always get first pick, but it is going to be Dire this game. They're going to go ahead and take out Lycan, followed by Invoker for EFK. So both these heroes pretty widely banned so far, and with the addition of CK now into Captain's mode as well, we are likely going to see him either banned or pick. I know a lot of teams consider him very highly, but both these teams, EFK and WoG together, not really that well known. Again, we did have quite a few people registering for this tournament, so we're going to see a lot of stuff in these qualifications that could possibly be new and exciting, and things that we haven't yet seen before. So definitely looking forward to that. And right now, just waiting for another one of WoG's bans. And they're going to go ahead and take out Brewmaster. Another really strong early to mid-game hero, especially Chen's going to follow up there from EFK. 2 more bans left in the first ban phase. And this is actually, I think, one of the first games I've casted in quite a while. Pro Dota 2 has been a little bit delayed due to things like DreamHack and the international qualifiers, so it's been a while, guys, but I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I know there's a lot of other tournaments out there right now, so I'm glad you guys are watching me. It's awesome. I love the support that you guys continue to give me. It means a lot. And at some point, I'm sure Spit-wad will be back. So here's fingers crossed, waiting for him. 5 seconds left until they cut into their bonus time here. Still waiting on another ban out of WoG. And I did have the bracket open, but I think I somehow closed it in one of the other windows, so that's a bit unfortunate. I would have been able to tell you what round this is. I believe it is a round 1 game. A lot of teams had buys. Whenever you have a lot of teams, roughly about 100, like I said before, sign up for a tournament like this, it's going to be something like only about half of them will actually sign in. The last 2 bans finally do come out. It's going to be Darkseer and Furion. So Chen is taken out, but Enchanter is still available. A lot of teams, especially North and South American teams, love running their aggressive or defensive junglers, so we're probably going to end up seeing that. CK is still in the pool as well with a few other very, very powerful potential picks. And first pick, once again, going to Dire, so we're going to go ahead and see what WoG is going to go with here. And being in this position can be an advantage, but it can also be a disadvantage. Due to the amount of high-tier heroes in the pool right now, you're forced to pick something that might actually leave more options for, in this case, EFK, because you're scared of giving them 2 really, really high-tier heroes, and they are going to go ahead and first pick Chaos Knight. So this leaves a lot of options open for EFK. We obviously have the Windrunner still in the pool, very highly regarded by most teams, but they're going to go Queen of Pain Beastmaster straight away. And I know exactly why I can't hear Spit-wad. It's because I had his mic muted on Skype. Or I had my mic muted, rather, so I was talking to myself that entire time, but you guys could hear me, Spit-wad could not. I am awesome at this, but he's here now.
I am here now.
I was like, wait a minute, why can't I hear him? Why can't I hear him? But you guys can hear me. I know that, but you guys can't see my mini Skype window off to the side that had my microphone muted talking to him, so I apologize for that. LOLOL. That was totally my bad. But picks going a little bit faster now. We did see the Leshrac follow up here by WG, and I didn't ask you, what do you think about the format of having the first pick go to Dire? I completely spaced out and forgot to unmute myself on Skype.
I think it's fine. I don't think it's a big deal.
Well, I know most tournaments kind of favor having first pick go to Radiant because a lot of teams still do say that there is a discrepancy between having Dire for Roshan and stuff like that. But I know the international qualifiers themselves didn't have that rule either. They said it's pretty much random who gets first pick. So if Val thinks it's okay, then I suppose.
Yeah,
Way to question that.
actually, second pick has a higher win percentage, though.
Yeah, I talked a little bit about that. Not that you would have heard me because I'm awesome at
Oh,
this.
sorry.
No, it's not your fault at all. I just completely forgot to unmute you myself on Skype, but I did it on the stream. But the first pick phase is almost done. Just waiting on one more for EFK right here. And Enigma, Leshrac, CK so far for WoG, and then EFK takes Queen of Pain, Beastmaster, and they're looking for their +1 here. So what do you think about the picks so far? I think nothing really too crazy. I think CK is pretty standard now that he's been added into CM.
Yeah, I really like CK. I think we're going to keep seeing him a lot. He just does so much damage with his crit and his ult that you can just get tank items. And I mean, a lot of heroes, if you go for BKB early, you're sacrificing your mid-game damage, but it's not really a problem for CK.
Yep, we typically see CKs go stuff like Drum and BKB, like you said, because the space stats help his Phantasm significantly, and he doesn't really need to get pure damage items like you just said, so that's going to be really cool for them. But they do have a Lich and a Queen of Pain so far, so they have a decent amount to counter Phantasm at least. That's one of the most important parts about playing against the CK, I feel. And I think it's a bit strange, actually, that EFK decided to ban out Darkseer, because he's another one of those heroes that is really, really potent against the CK, and I don't think that teams are likely to pass him up, at least in the first pick as Yvette, but I suppose that's neither here nor there. But back to the bans here for a second. Morphling and Brood both going to be taken out of the game by WoG and EFK respectively, so shaping up a little bit weirder than I would have imagined, like Brood and Darkseer kind of being taken out a little bit later in the ban phase, and Brood has been seen a lot recently, even before the addition of CK, but with the more heroes that they keep adding in that are top tier, I would imagine the picks and bans are going to keep changing drastically.
Yeah, I really like Dire's team right now. I like seeing all those stuns that they have, and they have a lot of damage already. Radiant, I believe, could pick up an AM here. That would go well with them.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot to support it so far. They could dedicate that Beastmaster to the long lane, have Queen of Pain with a Lich, plus Anti-Mage or anything else they want to take bottom. A little bit strange, we haven't seen an Enchantress pick yet. Tide's going to get banned out, so is Ancient Apparition, so we're not going to see either of them, but I'm really shocked. Typically when you see one jungler banned, in this case, it's going to be the Chen. The other one is pretty much straight to follow in the first 3 picks, but neither of these teams really heavily favoring the jungle except for WoG with their Enigma. I think that's a little bit strange, and I think that Enchantress would be pretty decent for EFK here too. It opens up their lanes a little bit to give their early game more experience. It's important for heroes like Queen of Pain, Beastmaster, even Lich, when you're playing against an Enigma and a CK in this position to get a fast 6. I think that's paramount to their lineup so far. So we'll have to see what they're going to pick here, but it is WoG's ball right now. See what they're going to go with.
I do think that Enchantress would be a good pick for them, especially if they get AM. Enchantress could bother the Enigma in the jungle pretty easily, and Enigma just farms very, very fast in the jungle if you leave him untended.
Yeah, we see a lot of people going really tanky on him nowadays too. Typically they'll just skip the Blink Dagger and go for something like a mech or in some cases a pipe and just a vitality booster and just be really obnoxious and be able to walk into your whole team and just black hole just virtue of not being able to die. I think it's a really, really good strategy. And there's the Windrunner, another hero who's kind of, at least in this particular game, fallen off in terms of how highly teams regard him. And Faceless Void taken by EFK. I like that, and I also dislike that for the simple reason of Void needs a long game to be effective, in my opinion. In a lot of cases, he's just not really bringing anything to your early game that's going to really stop a hero like CK, Lesh, or anything really on WoG's lineup. I think he's basically a liability until at least like 20 to 25 minutes in.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Void at all. Someone did just mention that I'm echoing a lot.
Are you echoing?
I don't know if you can do anything about that.
You're not echoing on my end. I have the other stream muted, so if he's echoing, I have no clue why, because he's not echoing to me. Let's see. Because I don't have anything set differently. Everything is completely normal. That's a bit strange.
Alright, maybe someone can comment if it's tolerable or if the echo went away.
Yeah, sorry guys. I don't know what's causing the echo on his end. I hear him perfectly fine, so I definitely did mute the stream because I'm not hearing it through twice. I know I forget to do that sometimes, but it's not going to be the case. Anyway, back to the game for just a second. Death Prophet is going to be the last pickup here for WoG. I like that quite a bit. The long duration silence against heroes like Queen of Pain, Lich, even Void. I mean, Lich and Void ultimates are very, very difficult to deal with, but if you get that long silence, you have a decent amount of follow-up stun. You can prevent the teamfight initiation from going too poorly in your favor, and Enchantress will also round out the lineup for EFK. And we are 3 minutes delayed, for those of you who don't know, and I don't have any clue if he's still echoing or not, and I really hope he's not, because I would definitely like to cast this with 2 people. It's always fun casting with a buddy. But we are going to go ahead and get the game underway here as soon as people pick their heroes. Make sure I turn off my overlay. Bam. There we go. And once again, this is just a round 1 game for the qualifications for the ECAL's North American and South American $3,000 tournament. And the casters for your game today are myself, Draskyl, and Spit-wad, the admin of NEODota.com. If you guys haven't checked out that site, you definitely should. Also check out machinima.com because they are the sponsors of this tournament as well. Awesome guys. Anybody who supports esports is awesome in my opinion. And we're going to get the first look at our lanes here. Looks like we are going to have that Void going bottom lane, likely with the Lich and the Enchantress as well. So he's going to be very safe in the early parts of the game, but the real question is how much can EFK get done in the beginning to kind of surmount the fact that WoG has just a crazy mid-game. I mean, there's no arguing it. Their mid-game is just crazy. They have so much damage. They can push any tower. They have tank between the Crobulus and the CK as well. I just really, really fear that the middle part of the game, EFK is just going to struggle.
I think it's going to come down to how well the Queen of Pain does early. If he gets rolling, then they might have a pretty easy game here, actually. But yeah, if they keep him down, then the DP and the Leshrac and the Enigma are just going to push through everything.
Well, we are going to have a dual range bottom. It's going to be Leshrac and Windrunner down here, and I don't really think they're going to be able to get a lot done. And honestly, Ham needs to be a little bit careful here. There are 4 heroes from EFK waiting on the sidelines, although I don't think the Queen of Pain's going to be able to get in range to initiate, because she wouldn't be able to get her Shadow Strike and Blanket level 1. That's just not possible. So looks like we're going to have a Death Prophet versus Queen of Pain mid. We're going to have a Beastmaster versus a solo CK top so far, unless the Enigma is going to make his way to the jungle, so that's technically a 2v1 situation. It's going to be really rough for that Beastmaster, and he didn't actually take the time to cut down these trees right here on the right-hand side of his lane, so it's going to be really, really difficult for him to spot ganks coming. He actually skilled Call level 1, and level 1 Hawk does not give that great a vision, so I'm not really sure if that's going to do him too much good. Illusion Rune picked up here by Ifrit from WoG, going to help him in the CS department quite a bit. And looking at the lane so far, it seems like WoG is doing pretty much everything that they can to get over this Void tri-lane, because they're sending the Leshrac top pretty much straight away. They know they're not going to be able to get anything done here, and there's no real reason to sacrifice 2 heroes when you know you're not going to be able to stop the Void's farm.
Yeah, this Illusion Rune mid is actually helping the DP a lot. The Queen of Pain is trying to get her bottle up before 2 minutes, and so far DP has kept her completely off the creeps.
Yep, Ifrit definitely doing a great job there. And we're likely going to see some creep pulling here out of WoG, I would assume, but there is a ward here. A bit strange that neither the jungler or any of the supports didn't buy a sentry. It's pretty typical metagame now to just buy a sentry, I think, even if you're not going to the safe lane, just to give it to somebody else, but not going to be soon.
Look at Rusty. He ran all the way back to the tier 2 tower to start blocking the creeps from there.
Yeah, I
mean... That is some passive offlaning.
In his situation, that's really all you can do. I mean, what's a solo Beastmaster going to do against the CK Leshrac?
It's true. He has the Hawk up. He sees the Leshrac just waiting there.
Yeah, if he gets caught out, I mean...
You see his Tornado mid on the DP.
Oh, wow, this Tornado is actually getting him quite low. He is level 3. He's got level 2 Shadow Strike if he gets it off. Oh, he gets silenced in tower range. The tower is not hitting him, though. Really good, not actually attacking him. He's going to throw it out, and he does blink away just in time. Gets away with 11 HP after the Shadow Strike. Really nice play there by David Gibb from EFK. I can't believe he lived through that. That was a really clutch silence, too. It stopped him almost mid-animation from that Shadow Strike. It didn't allow it to go off. And First Blood's going to go in favor of EFK. Now we got an Enchantress gank coming in from the side. Ham's in a little bit of trouble. Forced to use the wind run. Double slow there. Shockwave coming out from the Satyr, and they're still going on him. The enchant is going to wear off, though, and I don't think they'll be able to get him. He's 23 HP. He's going to go ahead and salve up. He'll be all right for the moment. And that leaves this Void in the bottom lane free to pretty much farm anything that he wants. And back in mid, Queen of Pain, pretty happy with herself after that First Blood. Definitely needed it after the creep kill discrepancy after that illusion. Actually, Crobulus is only 3-3, or 3-5 right now, and 7-2 for the Queen of Pain, so Cutie's doing quite well for himself.
She's going to pick up a regen rune top now.
Yeah, that's pretty much the best luck you can get. In a lot of cases, you sometimes say, like, Invis or Haste is great for ganking, but just having the sustain early game to get quick levels on Queen of Pain, I think, is almost more important in this situation. Because you can be a really dominant force in the mid-game, and the better start she has, the easier it's going to be for the Void to get his mid-game going. And that's what's really going to be important right now for EFK. Oh, and top lane, looks like Rusty was taking quite a bit of damage, down to about a third HP. Forced to pop a flask.
He's just trying to get level 2.
They're being so mean to him, man. Like, just let the man get a level. 40 experience away at the 3-minute mark. He should get it right here, though. That's kind of why you skill axes, though. I mean, I understand why you would want to have the vision over there, but if you just get axes and cut the trees before the first creep wave, you should be A-okay in that regard. And Void's just going to keep farming away here. Bottom lane right now, he is at 15 and 10. That is pretty darn good for under the 4-minute mark. Middle lane still going pretty favorably for Queen of Pain. Still hasn't even been forced to pop her regen. In a lot of cases, I would like to see him playing a bit aggressively. There we go. And he's going to spot the courier. Is he going to be able to get the right click off? He really wants it. Throws out the scream. The silence misses. It's almost a point-blank silence. They didn't even get it off. That was a bit strange. Almost got the courier there, though. Sure, QT's a little upset with himself for using that blink a little bit prematurely.
She might catch her here.
Yep, she does throw out the Shadow Strike, bottling up between auto attacks. There's the silence from Ifrit, but he really can't do anything. They're just fighting over this rune. So QT is going to get this 4-minute rune pretty much uncontested. And Ifrit is just really struggling.
And now DP is going to be in trouble.
Yeah, Invis in the bottle. I mean, Queen of Pain can use this for anything, really, that she wants. She can use it defensively, use it to gank. And Ifrit's going to pretty much have the bottle crew at this point if he wants to be able to sustain. He's only got level 2 wave. He's got a level 3 now. Just hit level 5. I mean, the CS is pretty even, but you can just kind of feel that Queen of Pain has that dominant feeling in the middle right now. So it's definitely going well for EFK at this point. Let's check out CK. We haven't talked about him much. He is at 25 and 16 right now. Actually, that's a little bit low for Free Farm. At the 5-minute mark, I would like to see a little bit more than 25 CS.
Yeah, he is beating out the Void, though.
Yep, at this point, that is pretty much all that matters. Although a Void super late game, I think, it trumps the CK just by virtue of his ultimate. But bottom lane, we got Ham in a lot of trouble. There's a Minotaur stun after the Windwalk was used, and Enchantress is going to get a kill on Ham. So Windrunner drops 2-0 right now at just under the 5.5-minute mark in this game between EFK and WoG. For those of you who don't know, WoG is the Dire side team. EFK is the Radiant side. We should have had an overlay figured out for this, but we are amateur streamers here, so can't have that. Got some pings going off to Ezah, and we haven't seen him much either. He's kind of just been doing his own thing in the jungle. Level 4 right now. He's got rank 2 of his conversions, rank 2 of his Malefice. Looking to get that black hole. Get level 6 as soon as possible. And QT is invis up here mid, going to throw out the combo onto Ifrit. Cancel cast the silence. Just making sure that QT didn't go for the dive right there. He actually miscalculated his mana. I think he wanted to be able to wave there, but he was about 5 mana under being able to use it. But at the same time, man, he's playing this really well. Every time it's close to a rune spawn, he plays very aggressively, pushes mid back, and ensures that he can get every single rune.
He should be trying to find the Enigma with that DD right now, with the enchant there too, or they're going to go for the CK up here.
Yeah, they have the Enchantress here as well. No smoke, a little bit interesting, but however, there are no wards. Really good timing on this gank, actually, just above 6 minutes, so that means that if there were any wards top, they would have already faded if they were dropping the 0-minute mark. This ward right here at the river is brand new. We can already see pings going off, and Ezah seems to be wise to this gank, sitting in the woods here with the rest of his team. So CK, Lesh, and Enigma all top. And Enchantress scouting out with the creeps. Probably not a good idea to go in here. He's going to get stunned out. 4-second stun. Akuma's going to follow up the stun. A little bit of an overlap there, but it really shouldn't matter. And there goes Enchantress. But now here comes Queen of Pain with the double damage. Throws out the wave. Falls in a lot of trouble. Rusty running around trying to get some axes off. There's a scream, though. Queen of Pain picks out the kill. Now Ezah's in still a lot of trouble. The Ezah's still following from Enchantress as well. Ifrit does TP top in the meantime. Throws out the silence. Doesn't hit the Queen of Pain, though. Wave goes off onto Rusty. Only level 3, but the auto attack from Queen of Pain will go ahead and pick off that Enigma. And now QT needs to help his teammate. Rusty really low. One more auto attack from Ifrit will do the job. Now the Ezah trying to do everything it can, but it's not really going to do too much against the Exorcism popped by Death Prophet. So, 4-2. 2 return kills there from WoG. Did a pretty good job there. And did Leshrac actually DC during that, or did he disconnect after the fact?
I believe it was after.
Oh man, Ham's having such a rough time in his bottom lane too. Almost in as sore a shape as Rusty would be, I think, from EFK. Although Beastmaster is level 5. getting in range of that experience for that kill top definitely helped him out a bit. And we are going to have a pause due to another disconnect, so maybe he did crash out there. But nonetheless, he still got his combination off to kill that Enchantress. So right now, 4-2 in favor of EFK. And this Void, 37 for 25 in CS at just under the 8-minute mark. So what do you think of the game so far, man? Who do you think's got the advantage? I mean, if we're looking at gold, it's only like 750 in favor of EFK right now and about 1,000 experience. That's really nothing.
I think I've seen a lot more solid play and coordination from EFK, so I'll have to give them the advantage in the whole game. It's always hard to judge on teams who've never watched before, but that's the beauty of an open tournament. You get surprises and upsets all the time.
Yeah, like Queen of Pain's diving mid for first blood and living with 11 HP. I still can't believe he didn't die. Like, that was a really good decision by not auto-attacking him, because if he had auto-attacked him just a second sooner, the tower hit would have killed him. And I'm not sure if he still would have been able to get the kill on Death Prophet. So a really cool play there from the Queen of Pain. And it looks like Akuma has reconnected. Hopefully his computer is not on fire. That would be a good thing, because we would like to continue this game, bring you this qualification match, round 1 of the ECAL $3,000 North American and South American tournament. The winner of this tournament will go on to participate in the tournament itself, again, for $3,000, so it should be very, very fun to watch.
Actually, 4 teams from the qualifiers will move on.
Oh, 4 teams. Okay. That would make sense, because there are a crap load of people who have signed up for this tournament.
Yep, over 100 teams.
You know what's really interesting about this game is that not a single tower has died at 8 minutes, and there's a Death Prophet, an Enchantress in the game, and a Leshrac. And there was a solo Beastmaster top, but now it looks like WoG definitely wants to stop that. There's a blink in onto Rusty. He gets a Chaos Knight stun and the wave to follow the Split Earth, and I think he just died to the Dire right there. No one actually got the kill, but Edict's going to be popped on this top tier tower. There's the fortification, and we don't see really any reaction from EFK thus far. They're not even looking to counter push. They're kind of just sitting around and farming, and this is something that WoG definitely likes. If they can get a tower for basically nothing, then they're going to be pretty happy with that. And your keyboard is insurmountably loud. In the meantime, Ezah middle getting dove by QT and David Give right here, rather. Pops the Nature's Attendant's going to be enough to get himself away. Those conversions still doing a lot of damage, though. He is just getting beat down by that tower, and QT pops the Haster to get out of dodge. And they're going to go ahead and try to push mid, but in the meantime, that top tower did die.
Power of Enchantress. Those wisps, they heal so much.
Yeah, I mean, that hero is just so good for early game aggression. You can tank a tower like a boss with just a couple of levels of it. He has a level 3 right now. A little bit strange. Some players favor not to level enchant to level 2. They just get stats, or in some cases untouchable, but he's going to go with that extra level to get the bonus slow. Ezah comes back middle now, pops some conversions to try to defend the tower.
I like getting enchant to level 2 when I'm jungling her.
Yeah,
it's nice to get untouchable earlier, but even just for the 5-second cooldown bonus, you know, it's pretty good. If you're going up against Chen, you need to max it to get the cooldown advantage.
Yeah, well, the Chen was banned out this game, but I definitely understand where you're coming from. I think it's just kind of like a player preference thing, or situational thing, like you were saying. Also, a little bit strange that the Enchantress went with the mana boots. I mean, sometimes you see that, but not always, and Ezah is, like, stuck here. He's between a Queen of Pain, a Lich, and an Enchantress. He's just trying to weave his way out of the woods. Doesn't even have boots. He's just sitting here getting attacked by satyrs. He needs to be really careful about how he gets out of here. Maybe he's just looking to offensively jungle, and it seems like EFK will not be any the wiser, so he's going to be okay for the moment. The Ham in this bottom lane still only level 4, man. They are doing a great job of zoning him out here. Lich is level 6. The supports from EFK are higher level than solo lane. That's definitely not a situation you want to be in. It's only 5-3 right now at the 10.5-minute mark, but still. The Lich already having his ultimate is a huge deal, considering CK actually didn't even get Phantasm this early. I suppose you don't need it, though, if you're not going to be fighting. You can just stick with the Chaos Bolt and the Blink.
And EFK Rusty over here is being a good offlaner, stacking the Ancients for Void to kill later.
I think he's just killing himself.
Right, he is actually killing himself. All right.
Yep, hybrid damage from those axes. We see that a lot, actually. Most, if not all, long lane Beastmasters now have picked up that. I don't remember who the first team I saw do it, or who was the first team to do it, but the one that I saw personally was Mouse. and it was an off-lane Beastmaster, and he just stacked infinitely and got from like level 1 to level 6 or something like that, and just bought his Soul Ring and kept doing it. It's pretty obnoxious, as we can see. Rusty does have his Soul Ring picked up. Level 6 now is the offlaner, 2 levels higher than Ham, who is still struggling to reach level 5. And we are going to have another pause. Enigma is level 6 right now as well, so he has his Black Hole, almost level 7. And he is going the full conversion build rather than leveling up his Malefice for that extra tick of his stun. Void right now going for that Battle Fury. 1,100 gold saved up, 54 and 33. So his farm's doing very, very well. And WoG wants to continue to pressure top lane. And at this point, I don't think they're going to be able to react fast enough to save this tower. Not even a glyph. Yep, that's a tier 2 top dead pretty much immediately. So Leshrac gets the gold for that. You can see some pings coming on. And again, EFK is just out of position all over the map. There's nowhere for them to really able to push. They have a Windrunner and Ezah bottom basically to stop anything that could come out of the Enchantress or the Void. And Void's definitely not known for his pushing power until at least he gets his Battle Fury up, which he should soon. But he needs to be careful, man. There's a lot of people from WoG right here. They're coming around from the back. Will there be a Shackle? He's looking for the Malefice first, but nice timing on that walk, and to be able to get out of there. And now EFK is going to be forced to pretty much stop farm top. They haven't gotten any but 1 tower still. They got that tower mid and 2 towers in favor of WoG at this point.
I would have expected the DP to TP bottom with them. They saw how easily they got the tier 2 tower on top, and they still have ghosts up. And now they get another free tower here. There's no reason why they shouldn't just keep pushing right now. It's
really nice movement, and wow, Fallen is behind enemy lines right here. Blackhawk down. Fallen just not long for this world. 20 HP, 1 auto attack from downtown. Lich secures the kill. So Chain Train getting himself a little bit of extra gold, but again, tower for a hero. I think WoG's going to take that trade every day of the week, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Enchantress, you don't want to be over there, buddy. That's not safe. So now the rest of WoG is just going to go ahead and retreat. The one nice thing that you can take from this is that heroes that need farm, like the Void in this case, can kind of stop farm and just sit here in a position where they're not really too vulnerable to dying. As long as the warding is decent, he should be able to just sit here and do whatever he wants for probably the next 5 to 10 minutes and be a-okay for it. And now Ifrit going to be forced to pop that Invis Rune that he had in the bottle, running away from QT and Chain Train mid. And the rest of WoG is going to react by just farming up, Matt. And this is the strength of their lineup. Like, they just know they have a huge mid-game team, and they're just going to force team fights and try to get map control and towers.
And it looks like they're looking to push down mid right now. The DP is sitting in Viz there, waiting to silence someone.
Got the Satyr coming out of the front. Going to throw off that Shockwave. Wow, there's a huge Ancient stack off to the left there being axed once again. Glyph popped right away. There's only 4 here, though. Void is not here to help, and QT's standing on the side, maybe looking to line up a wave. Silence misses. Is he going to go in on this? Conversion still doing a little bit of damage to the tower. Chain Train walks up to the front, seeing if he can do some scare tactics. And again, Fallen is just off to the side here by himself. If they notice it, they could potentially chase him down. Be a really awkward place to engage for the rest of WoG. And we are going to see a Shackle not latch to anything on Chain Train. Going to be able to get back. Now the Scream goes off. There's a 3-second stun on the QT. Can he get the silence up before the blink? He does, just on the edge! And the power shot will finish him off. Windrunner getting that kill now. Ezah in a bit of trouble. Tower going into Ifrit as well. No black... Oh, there's the Black Hole right on top of Void. He doesn't have mana to Chronosphere yet. But however, WoG is getting pushed back here pretty handily, I would say. Ifrit in a lot of trouble. Some impetus going off. Buyback from QT. Ports back to middle lane. Another stun. There's the Void. Finally popping its Chronosphere after he gets some mana. And Fallen is going to go down here. Oh, wow, nice power shot. Almost picking off the Enchantress. But now QT is going to aggressively blink across the river into Akuma. And Faceless Void picks up a DD, so it looked like a really good start for teamfight for WoG. Just turned into a disaster, basically.
Yeah, and the setup for that was pretty nice. Void had time to farm before starting that fight. He came in, got a kill, back to farming. That's exactly what EFK wanted to do. They didn't even lose the tower.
Yeah, that was really nice defense, and honestly, the Void miscalculated his mana. He was on strength treads when he leaped in, and he couldn't actually pop his Chronosphere right away. He got shackled, so if he had gotten that off, it would have been at least 3 people stuck in there, and just a complete team wipe pretty much for WoG. So EFK looking pretty strong into the mid-game, really nice tower defense. They showed a little bit of lack of, I guess, willingness to defend earlier, but definitely not that time, and Void is getting dangerously close to finishing his Battle Fury.
Beastmaster is opting not to level up Call of the Wild enough to get the boar.
That is really, really strange, but at the same time, if your Void's farming this well, do you really think it's not better to have the bonus attack speed? I mean, if they're going to be focusing on team fights, which they know that WoG has to be wanting to 5-on-5, like that's their team's forte at this point. They have strong push, but they also have ridiculously good 5-on-5. I think that having the extra attack speed in this situation with an Enchantress as well with those impetus, man, that's like a crazy amount of damage.
And they do have enough slow between the rest of the team. Every hero on that team has slow. They're not going to have any problems catching up to anyone.
Well, at this point, EFK is looking to be in a pretty dominant position. 9-4 at 16 minutes, only about a 1,500 gold lead. I honestly would have expected that to be a bit higher, but again, they've only gotten one tower so far. But wow, the experience is almost 10,000 in favor of EFK after winning that teamfight middle. Now QT is going to be forced back here from the top lane. Blinking into the side of the woods here, going to go ahead and TP and probably be fine. And Void still just farming away bottom. Chain Train going to walk into the lane, probably scare off Fallen and Ham. Needs to be a little bit careful. Let's check out Fallen's farm here. Yeah, man, he doesn't even have his drum yet. He's currently 1-3. He's having a really rough game, and honestly, he's the one who needed to be doing well. He was in that top lane, basically versus no hero. I mean, Rusty didn't even get level 2 until, like, what, 6 minutes in? I mean, they were heavily relying on him to be able to get an item or two at this point in the game to be able to do damage. As QT is going to be chased away from this regeneration room. And wow, they want to fight this. Looks like Enchantress is going to go right into the front. Stun from the Minotaur. Nice shackle though between the Creep and David there. There's a nice chain cross though bouncing between the Ezah. He does get out of range, but it saves Enchantress in the meantime. And now Ezah is going to go down right there. Double kill for the Enchantress. The scream from QT up at the top side of the river, helping him secure that kill. Now Ham's going to be forced back. And we see Pings in the bottom lane right here on the fall. And he does have a TP though. Finishes drum as well. Can he get the Seer off before he blinks? He does! He does get QT, but I don't think it's going to matter. Stop the TP. He is going to just go down here pretty much for sure. And that is pretty much 3 down for nothing. 12
to stopped to try to kill a creep. He shouldn't have done it.
Oh, man. Greediness is a killer, dude. I die to that stuff constantly. I can't even blame him. Gotta get that go, do you feel?
I feel.
Well, right now it looks like EFK is in a pretty dominant position. They're looking to push this tier 1 bottom lane. I gotta say, that Chain Frost pretty much saved that Enchantress's life. I mean, he's only got 700 HP. That hero just has no health gain at all.
That's why I like going treads on enchant, so you can switch them to strength. Mana boots are nice, but Enchantress, pretty easy to kill if you don't get the full heal off.
Yeah, I was a bit shocked when I saw that myself. I don't think I've seen an Enchantress get mana boots for quite some time. Most people opt for the treads, or sometimes I've even seen phase boots and like drum, stuff like that. It's definitely an interesting variation, but at least it ensures you can get extra auto attacks off by being able to run quicker, so.
It's also nice to pick up a point booster early to make into a scepter later.
Yep, definitely we can see Fallen doing some harassment. The QT mid doing quite a bit of damage. He gets a crit off, 4-second stun. Holy cow, and there's a Beastmaster Roar from the high ground, playing his cards a little bit too much there. And QT says, you know what, you want to play like that, that's fine. Gonna go ahead and just pop my ult and scream and get the kill. And now the rest of WoG is grouped up here in the middle lane, but they're not really going to be able to do too much. There's no tower here anyway. So this grouping up right now isn't going to accomplish very much. Mech finished, by the way, on Ezah. You can see Crobulus has her hood and phase. She doesn't have a lot of base health, though. That's a little bit of an interesting build, I would say. I think he's probably going to follow that up with something like a Vitality booster or something to give him some base HP, because Void right now has his Battle Fury. He's hitting pretty darn hard. Phase boots and a hood are not going to save you from his right clicks. We got another pause here. Unfortunate that some people from WoG are having some computer issues, but once again, want to thank you very much for joining us.
This one's on EFK.
Oh, it's on EFK this time. All right. Okay. WoG gets off the hook this time. That's okay though. I can use a second to drink some water, I suppose. There's been quite a bit of action this game, honestly. It's 20 minutes in, 17 kills. That's roughly a kill a minute.
All in all, pretty impressive play from 2 teams I have never heard of.
Yeah, definitely. I think that WoG had a lot of momentum, and they had a decent game plan, but just some execution errors when they went down middle, and some people getting picked off here and there. That can really make all the difference, especially when you have a team that still does have a pretty reliable mid-game, not quite as good as WoG's in this situation, but EFK has Chain Frost with Void Ultimate, Roar, and Queen of Pain. I mean, that's still a significant amount of burst damage. You can't just walk into that and fight it blindly. And I think that EFK has done a great job of defending so far after losing that initial top lane.
WoG is still very much in this game, though. Even though they're down 13-4 on kills, the Void did go for Battle Fury, so we know he's going to be wanting to farm more. And with the push power on the Dire, all it takes is one big team fight and they'll break through and get a Rex.
Yep, they definitely have heroes like that in their arsenal. Death Prophet's about to hit 11 too, so that's a pretty big deal. Akuma needs to be really careful here, though. Getting cut off to the side. There's a stun. Does hit QT. Silence as well. Impetus attacks going off onto Akuma. One more should seal the deal, and he does get it. Running a bit too far away, so the bonus damage. Getting the kill for Enchantress, and that's a mega kill. I think he's going to be satisfied with that, and really just inopportune timing. No vision here from either team, really. I mean, it was just really unfortunate that Leshrac happened to run into that situation. Was unable to escape, even with the assistance of his teammates.
For newer Enchantress players, note what David Give did there on that. For his killing blow, he knew he was going to get the final blow. He ran away from the hero he was attacking to get even more bonus damage.
Yep, really cutesy play there. Invis popped on Death Prophet as well, scouting things out. No tower here top lane, however. Maybe just trying to keep the CK safe. And he's going to sit here on top of Rusty, basically in the jungle, who also has a drum finish. We can see some pings going off. Looks like WoG might want to try to engage this, but Urza's in a really inopportune position.
What a great scout.
Yeah, that was huge.
They just got so much information from this. Everyone on Dire can farm safely now. They know where 4 out of the 5 Radiant heroes are. They could even TP bottom and go on the Void, because they know he's alone, and his allies don't have a tower down there to TP to.
Yeah, but we're going to see Void actually get taken down pretty fast here. Nice stutter step getting the tower. Gets out of the Edict range just barely and lets himself live. Another TP coming in bottom lane from the CK. Stun barely misses, but there's a shackle, and he should be dead here. For sure, backtrack, but it doesn't save him. I was going to freak out
my God.
If that backtrack saved him. I would have lost it. But now WoG getting a kill on Void is going to allow them to go ahead and try Roche. Again, they do have level 2 Exorcism on that Death Prophet, and this thing's going to drop really fast between that and Edict, man. I am really just... That was pretty sick co-commentary, by the way. He totally called that. Just went and killed the Void. I mean, he was kind of manning up to get the tower, but at the very least, WoG's going to be able to get a Roche out of it. I think they're probably just going to give it to CK. Yep. He's going to go ahead and pick that up. 1,300 gold saved up on him. I think he's probably going to want to buy either a BKB or an Armlet. And Queen of Pain also finishes a Bloodstone. What do you think about that choice?
I like it, actually. I don't think we see Bloodstone enough, especially for Queen of Pain, who often blinks in, initiates fights, and if she gets caught out of position, she's going to die. And the quicker respawn time on Bloodstone is pretty underestimated. I'd like to see WoG right now push their advantage. They have 40 seconds left on DP's cooldown, and they have an Aegis, and did CK get his Armlet?
I don't believe so. He's sitting at 1,500 gold right now. Yeah, his farm's not doing so hot. I think that getting the Roshan helped a little bit. They did lose a tower for it, but I think they'll be happy with that exchange. If they can get something out of this Aegis, that's what they really, really need right now, like you were saying. If they don't, then it's just going to be looking pretty grim for the late game, because this Void has had a Battle Fury for 6-7 minutes now. It's going to get to a point where he's going to get his BKB up with the Mask of Madness and just be pretty much unkillable, but QT is going to get caught out a little bit here by Fallen Stun. Doesn't manage to make contact before Akuma's in position to follow up with his own stun, and QT is going to be just fine. Let's see. Ham's got his 4-staff up, so his farm's actually doing pretty well considering the fact that he was in that solo long lane. Ifrit does have his Vitality booster picked up after the hood with a headdress, so he's going for that pipe. And no one else really has anything notable from WoG as of yet. Bracer on the Leshrac. And I think we already went over the mech on Enigma. Bloodstone on the Queen of Pain, mech on the Lich. Rusty's got a Vlad's with his phase and drums with a Soul Ring as well. We can see the Enchantress making her way towards that Aghanims, and finally the Void with the Battle Fury and Mask of Madness. So looking at the overall farm, definitely going pretty heavily now in favor of EFK. 4,000 gold, getting closer to 5, and still over 10,000 experience. Not much of a gap, though, after that Roshan kill. Like, not much of a difference, I should say. Still a pretty big gap, though. Ooh, QT needs to be careful, looking for a Shackle lineup right there. Hawk's going to scout it out, but that looks like a 1 control group Beastmaster to me. There's Boar and the Hawk going right into the river. That was a little bit interesting, and it's still just making the journey, man. Boar just sitting here off to the side, as we can see pretty much 4 heroes right now from WoG. They need to be careful. All 5 from EFK are here. Ezah walks in, throws to the Midnight Pulse. There's an actually pretty bad sphere, only hits 1, but Ezah's going to drop regardless. And now we can see the Void getting forced out of his own sphere a little bit there. Might have actually done more harm than good. And 3 heroes dropping pretty much straight away for WoG. And Ham now going to get enchanted from extremely far away, trying to get the TP off, and he won't. Lich gets a triple kill. I mean, that sphere probably could have been a bit better, but doesn't really seem to matter at all for EFK at this point. And the person with the Aegis who mattered the most was not there. So now
they're gonna lose. Well, they're probably only gonna lose 1 tower on this. They're actually low enough level where they respawn quick enough. I don't think Radiant can push this.
Yeah, they just popped all their ultimates too. I mean, Chronosphere doesn't have the longest cooldown. It's actually pretty short considering how good of an ultimate it is. 110 seconds at level 2. It's definitely very, very short, but EFK looking pretty darn good at the moment. You can see the Enchantress getting dangerously close to her Aghanims, and Void's just going to go ahead and TP back to top lane and farm already 2,500 gold after that 3-hero kill and tower little adventure they had right there. I'm just kind of confused on what WoG was thinking right there. I mean, they had a ward down, and they saw that coming, and they still decided to try to engage it. I mean, you're missing a person who basically has 2 lives, and you're fighting 4v5.
I think they're starting to panic. They're down 13 kills. They know that the Void is farming. They know it's only going to get worse for them.
Well, that definitely is true. I don't even want to look at the gold graph anymore. Yeah, that spike up's definitely not looking good. Over 15,000 experience now in favor of EFK and 10,000 gold, and honestly, I think the next 1 or 2 team fights we might just see a GG.
There's a double damage bottom right now. I think they need to do a smoke gank or something. They can't push a tower 5v5 right now.
Well, the problem is if they give this Void, like you said, too much more time, he picks up a BKB, he can initiate by himself. Doesn't even matter. Like, they don't have anything aside from the black hole really that can stop him from just taking out 2 or 3 heroes inside of that sphere, assuming he gets a decent one. So this is kind of the trap that you fall into when you start panicking, is you try to group up and take fights that you might not think you can win, but you really don't have a choice. So not only is it inefficient in terms of farming, but you run the risk of losing a team fight at that. And double damage is going to be picked up bottom river by the Void, chasing down Ifrit. He's still quite fast, though. Gets a magic wand. Nice stun from the high ground, just as a defensive measure for his teammate. Now EFK, Void is going to be forced back. And that could have been pretty bad if they lost the Death Prophet right there before a team fight even occurred.
Need more bashes.
Yeah, definitely need bashes. That was like my Void luck, by the way. I just get 0 bashes on that hero. That's why I don't play Lone Druid either. Just never root, man. Never happens. But at this moment, I haven't really seen much of Rusty right now. He's only 2-2 and 7. He's been doing a decent job of farming, but he's just kind of been AFK ricing most of this game. I suppose it doesn't really matter when you're this far ahead, but I would like to see
Chaos
AFK.
Knight is sitting at 3,300 right now.
Think he's going to go for a BKB?
I don't know. Between Roar and Chrono, I'm not sure it's worth it.
Well, most of the damage still is coming out from the Queen of Pain, Lich Ult, and Enchantress. I mean, you can't get impetus while you're BKB'd, so I think in terms of just living, the BKB would probably be the best option, but we'll see. And we're going to have another disconnect from Windrunners, so going to have another pause out of WoG. Sorry, guys, for the delays here. Apparently, people's computers not agreeing with them today. Although I've had problems of my own. Apparently, I can't unmute myself so Spit-wad can hear me. But right now, I think it's pretty much just EFK's game to lose. All they really have to do is group up and do 1 more decent team fight, and I think they can just go ahead and Rax, if not 2.
Since we're getting so many pauses here, I'll take advantage of this one and go over some results from today. SO Legends played 3 matches today. They dropped their first one to the Chinese Invictus Gaming in Pro Dota 2 League, and then went on to beat the American team Hydra in the defense, as well as SQL in Joint Dota Masters. So, all in all, a good day for AL. Complexity beat M5 in the Premier League. The score was 1-1 in a best of 3, and Complexity was winning in the 3rd game, and the server crashed, but I believe the admins are giving the win to Complexity anyways. Infused beat Z Nation in the defense. and Dare and CLG played, I believe, in Star Series, which Dare actually won.
That's a lot of Dota today. A lot. And that's not even including this tournament, so...
And that's not including the game everyone's talking about, Mouse vs. Dare, this morning in Pro Dota 2 League. Dare ran Ursa, and there were very many level 1 shenanigans at Roshan. I think there were like 18 kills in the first 6 minutes or something. It was pretty...
Holy crap, how did I not see that game?
Pretty busy game. There were pretty much 10 heroes around Roshan for the first 6 minutes. So make sure to check that one out.
That's insanity. See, that's the kind of games you love to watch, though, because even if it's not like the craziest high-level skill game, you just see a lot of things happening at once. It's still exciting, at least for me. I mean, obviously those teams are both great, but when you have stuff like that happen, you can't have that many kills without people making mistakes. That's kind of what I'm getting at, and that's kind of like the most fun thing to watch when people are trying to play in panic mode. It's definitely enjoyable, but the game's going to finally get underway again, and we know there's a lot of other Dota streams going on actually at this moment, so we want to thank you once again for joining us today for the ECAL qualifications. Once again, my name is Draskyl, and joining me is Spit-wad of NEODota, and we are just waiting for EFK to try to make a move here, or potentially WoG themselves if they want to try to smoke gank and get themselves back into the game. A couple of minutes left on Roshan. I'm so glad they added that like clock over the pit so I can actually tell when he's going to respawn.
Yeah.
That's like one of the best features for casters, man. You don't even know. I never remember to write that stuff down. And Ezah is just venturing off into the opponent's woods again all by himself. He's going to place an aggressive ward, and he does not get spotted here. So hopefully they'll be able to make use of it this time and not try to engage in a situation where they simply can't win. And speaking of middle lane, they're going to try to catch Void. No stun, though. He's just going to go ahead and leap his way out of there. Now WoG still looking to pressure mid. And bottom lane, Queen of Pain is just kind of doing her own thing, farming up still. Got her Force Staff too, which is a bit interesting. Probably more to help her teammates than herself. Although I have seen Force Queen of Pain before, it's been a while.
It's actually a very nice item to get people out of holes.
Yeah. And we got some pings going off, and WoG once again just kind of turtling up here. We can see 5 people from their team currently sitting middle. They're going to smoke up too. It's in the middle of the day though. Was there a Hawk over here? There's a lot of... Yep, there was a Hawk, so I think that Hawk might have spotted them out. If there was indeed vision of that, there should be no reason why QT gets killed by this. Although he could very well die to it if he's not careful. He needs to get back. Even if he blinks back right now, he's going to be in a bit of trouble. And CK's coming in from the back. He is going to come out eventually, spotted probably by the creeps, and now QT's going to be forced to make a decision which way he wants to go. That was a good option. Now he's not going to be able to get shackled to anything. Force Staff gets him a little further away. Will the shackle latch? No, it won't. Ham trying his best. There's a silence, though. CK desperately trying to chase here. He does have that drum for the extra move speed, but here comes the rest of EFK, and now Fallen and Ham are in a really bad spot. Where's the Chronosphere? There it is. Manages to keep Ham locked down. We're going to see a stun come off from Akuma and Edict. Here comes Ezah from the back. CK stuck on the right-hand side. There's the Sonic Wave. Akuma getting taken out. Beastmaster Roar, Black Hole immediately canceled. And QT blinks in aggressively. One more impetus plus some extra damage from the creeps will finish off pretty much the rest of WoG. And now Ham, once again, really struggling to get out of here. Shadow Strike will be used. Tries Force Staff herself out of there. 5 seconds left on the wind run. And I think that's going to be GG after CK dies again after his Aegis repops in the middle of pretty much the entirety of EFK.
That Chronosphere was awesome. He completely took CK out of the fight without even getting him in the Chronosphere.
Yeah, that was really sick placement. He's like, wait, I got illusions, but I can't do anything. Oh, man. That was really unfortunate for WoG. I mean, they had a pretty good idea trying to pick somebody off, because that's kind of the way you have to get yourself back into a game at this juncture. But, man, that was just a turn for the worst, I would say. And they're going to lose their bottom racks here pretty darn quickly. Ezah is back up. Going to throw out the Malefice onto QT here. Stun, not going to make contact. Throws at the Midnight Pulse. Now he's in a bit of trouble here. Quite slow. One impetus will go off. Yule's popped on the Leshrac. I'm not sure whose Yule's that is. Actually, it's Lich's, and Enchantress will pick up a kill in the meantime. Now Shackled, though, long distance to a creep. Falls and immediately buys back. Now it seems that EFK is on the retreat. Silence going off onto Rusty as he makes his way to the high ground. Turns around with the Roar. There's a nice Shackle onto QT, though. I don't know if the Silence is going to be up in time. It's 3 seconds left. She should be able to blink out of here. And now Akuma trying to get away. Long distance stun does make contact. There's a Silence on top of it. He does Force Staff himself away again. That item is paying for itself, man. That item is pretty much making him live. I gotta say, I'm a fan after seeing that. And now Chain Train's going to try to one-on-one a Windrunner with actually the assistance of QT. So a 2-on-1. Wow, taking a lot of damage. QT going to get the right click off, though, and get his own kill. Not Ifrit going to be forced back. And Fallen is just kind of in the middle of the river down here. Rusty does not have his Roar, however. He does have Phase and a Drum, so he runs pretty darn fast. Already popped his call, though, so the boar is not going to be in range to slow. And Ifrit's going to make his way back to the base. So a lot of stuff going on in the last couple of minutes of this game. 26-6, 32 minutes in, and Roshan has respawned, so EFK going to take this time after killing some members of WoG to go ahead and take it, and Dallas picked up on Void instead of a BKB. Manly build.
I like it.
I like it too. I think that anybody who gets caught in a Chronosphere with a Mask of Madness and Dallas on a Void is pretty much just going to die. I don't really see any way out of it. And that's going to be free Aegis for Void. We can see some pings in the bottom lane. WoG not looking to fight anymore, at least not until they get to the base. Man, the supports on EFK are so freaking farmed, man. 33 minutes in, Yules and a mech. In the meantime, middle looks like Ifrit's being played on quite aggressively here. Silence off onto the Void, unable to use his Chronosphere. Still does have that Aegis, though. He's just going to go back to the creep wave and get some extra gold before continuing this push. And I dare say we might see a GG coming out soon after this next push.
Queen of Pain's gonna get a dag and kill first.
She does have... Hello.
And you disconnected from the game.
I lagged out. Awesome. Alrighty. So I should be able to get myself back into the game in just a second. I only crashed for about 2 seconds right there.
Well, if my casting abilities are good enough, everyone will be able to perfectly visualize what's happening.
Okay, I think I can reconnect to the game straight away, hopefully. Alright, here we go. Fingers
EFK
crossed.
did
guys.
just take the tier 2 middle tower. And there's a pretty big fight going on. You just reconnected. We'll see if you can see it.
Oh, there is a really big fight. Looks like a Sphere manages to catch two, but somebody dies outside of it. Looks like it was Enigma, and Windrunner also going to drop there. Fallen, getting some impetus attacks used on him. There's the Yules from Chain Train, managing to catch back up to Fallen. The Dagon doesn't manage to get the kill, but a triple kill for Void. Managed to make it back just in time to see the rest of WoG fall. That's an Ultra. Where's the Rampage? Give that man a Rampage. Let him leap and get the Rampage. Rusty, you jerk. Don't do it. Are they going to take it? Nope. He's got full HP again. Look at how hard he hits, and there it is. Wow, Rampage for the EFK Void. I don't even want to try to say his name. Is such a bad abbreviation. Is that what his name is? That's way too long, buddy, but congratulations to you for winning the round one of the ECAL Qualifications for the $3,000 North American and South American tournament. This was, once again, round one casted by myself, Draskyl, and a good friend of mine, and also admin of NEODota, Spit-wad. We will be back in just a couple of minutes, guys, with hopefully another game. I'm not sure if it's going to be round one or two, but once again, thank you so much for joining us. Going to put on some music in the background, mute our mics, and we'll probably be talking to you guys in the chat who are still sticking around between games. So once again, thank you guys, and we will be back in just a few minutes.